Good evening and welcome to Letters from the Light Side. My name is Annie Conboy and I'm an intuitive medium and psychic, and I hope that I can bring you the messages about the energy that we're in and about the energy that we're going into from my guides and inspirers that will help you to make sense of whatever may be happening for you right now. So it's not exactly individual personalised messages from loved ones that I'm bringing, but it is the hope of the guides who work through me that you can take some of this information, any or all of this information, and use it in your daily life to help you along. It's been quite a week. We have a lot of big issues facing us as the human race, and I've been chatting quite extensively to my guides this week, especially as earlier this week we were receiving some massive blasts of energy from the full moon, a real blast of waves of divine feminine energy. We are going to need that divine feminine energy in order to create better solutions, in order to come up with ways in which we can tackle the division that currently splits us apart as human beings. We are social beings, and the guides keep reminding me that we like nothing better really than coming together and being in groups that have a forward purpose or a joint or shared position. And we've lost that focus. There are too many strident shouting voices, and as a result, we take actions that don't necessarily help us to think about the greater good. So this week, with this beautiful creative energy coming in, you might have been frustrated and a little bit impatient with yourself about what can I do? How can I heal the world? How can I make things better? What can we do to acknowledge that under the skin we're all the same? I'm sorry, I've got Rafe with me, and he knows that I've been sending a lot of healing out to various places in the world, trying to send that positive flow of energy, grabbing and riding that sort of wave of full moon energy, trying to help it to move into the root and sacral chakras of humanity. This is where we wobble. This is where we have the divide that's affecting us. So you might have found a real clash coming up for you this week between sort of the masculine making it so energy and the feminine creative flow. Sometimes we rush out to implement things and they're a little bit half-baked. We haven't quite got all of the angles covered. So you might also have found yourself this week getting frustrated with yourself because you've been trying things and maybe not getting the results or the reactions you expected. Wanting to kind of dream bigger dreams and dream positive dreams, and still feeling like maybe I'm dreaming too small, or maybe there's a bit of hopelessness with this. It is very hard to stay in that positive flow when things are happening that make us just despair about the actions that people take. And it's not, I'm not judging those actions, and the spirit world and the guides are not judging those actions. They're just making us notice. Today Rafe was talking to me about oh, I forgot to say I've ended up on TikTok. it's not enough that I'm doing YouTube and Facebook Live. They popped me on TikTok too. and 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 actually it's given me a lift because I can feel light-hearted about it. Um and being the astral crone and going on to a service that's supposed to be for younger people, but making me realize and recognize, you know, we reach out to each other in so many different ways, and this is what Rafe was wanting me to start to consider. You know, this week I've been thinking, what advice would I have given myself, the 20-year-old me? What would I have said to her that would have made her life more, I won't say the word easy, but I know Rafe's telling me, no, it still would have been a journey and a half, but would have given me the confidence to be more accepting that it is what it is, and that in the end I'd come out of it okay. And one of the things that I was kind of going back to him with was, well, I'd tell myself, ask why, ask how, ask what, ask where, ask when. Just keep those questions flowing. And in those questions, that's where we get the creative insight. Humanity kind of goes, why do that? Or what can I do about this? Or how do I do that? We ask the questions, all of us, but we very rapidly learn not to question. We very rapidly learn to take the experts' information and not subject it to question. And I think that's really important. I could have asked more questions of the people and the situations in my life. I could have been more observant, got behind the words, because when you're answering a question, obviously you say lots of things, but does it mean anything in practical terms? Questions are good for inspiration and creativity, but now you need to turn it into something. That's where the root masculine energy comes in, and I feel like we're doing a lot of doing without asking any questions, without filtering what we're doing in some way. And this is the thing that Rafe's been kind of saying, well, think about this week, think what you've been doing. And I have to say, I've been doing things without necessarily asking the questions. I've just been, and I really do trust my guides and inspirers, and it's important to build up trusting relationships with everybody, not just the guides and inspirers, with everybody. But I think it's also important for me that when I've asked the questions, they've also, along with answering, they've kind of put the money where their mouth is. They've sent me the evidence, or they've done the things they said they were going to do. And it's that connected upness of the questions followed by the actions that agree and are in alignment with the questions and answers. And that's what we're kind of missing right now. And I get lots of people contacting me saying, oh, I need to know what I'm going to be doing. And yes, we all need to know what we're going to be doing. But are we asking any questions about that? Or are we just waiting for it to descend and somehow somebody will point at us and say, right, you are doing this. I know I do that. Sometimes with my guides, I say, oh, tell me what I'm going to be doing. And they go, but you haven't asked the question yet. And I go, but what question? Tell me what question to ask. Because that's another issue. We don't train ourselves to generate the questions some of the time. We're so restricted. Synchronicity is wonderful. It really does work. But it only helps you if you ask the question, why is this happening right now at this time, in this moment, so that you can understand that bigger picture, because that's what synchronicity is. So this week there has actually been quite a bit of synchronicity. What might seem random chance or unconnected events, but they are about bringing us to recognise that bigger picture. We have an enormous amount of work to do as human beings in order to provide a legacy that is worth inheriting. And, you know, it's not our children, it's our children's 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 children who will inherit what we do right now. So it's learning to go with that synchronicity, but to question, what am I being shown? What is it about? And to help yourself to kind of step aside and accept that your view, your interpretation may not be what anybody else sees, but that's okay. And what they see is okay for them. That's really important in looking at how we create, how we fix things. I love the saying, necessity is the mother of invention, but it doesn't get to mother invention unless there's a little bit of inspirational thought along the way. So have a think about where in your life you perhaps are not seeing that there's a need to have a different perspective or a need to invent something new. We reinvent ourselves all the time. I'm laughing again because Rafe's just flashed a picture of me when I was in my 20s with a very disastrous full length curly perm. I thought I looked fabulous. I'm sure I looked fabulous, but the thing is, she's not me anymore and I'm not her anymore. I have reinvented myself because every morning when I wake up, there is an opportunity for me to be a different person. There's an opportunity for me to tweak something, to question something I have as a pattern, as I don't ever like that pattern. I'll try something else, and then to act on it and to bring myself to a deeper level of being me. I'm sure that Annie, all those years ago, was not the slightest bit interested in the spirit world, in a sense, and you know, would have laughed to be told that yes, she was going to be a medium. So the idea that she stayed stuck in time is not a good one, because she'd have missed out on all the stuff I really love. I've got some fabulous, exciting things coming along in September. More of my opportunities to teach, to practice some new, fairly new mediumship for me. When I say that, I mean I've only been at it for about 6 years, 7 years, I think. So it still feels new. So you know, we can do this. We can change by questioning. We can change by understanding the bigger picture better, and then we can find the path that we need to take. That means that we are contributing in a positive way to the legacy of this time. And it's that I want to talk about, because we've got a new moon on its way. We've had the full moon. So, of course, we get a new moon 2 weeks later. It's amazing. And we've got to think about what new beginnings do we want? What are we going to change? What inspiration has come our way? What ideas? Are we going to stick being the same person we've been? Or is it time to reinvent? You know, we can reinvent with a different hairstyle. We can reinvent with different clothes. But if we don't embrace that aspect of ourselves that we're showing to the world by the new hairstyle or the new clothes, we're not changing, we're just putting on a different look. So it's about, with this new moon coming up, that you're going to start feeling that push to reinvent, that push to say, right, okay, what is it I can do that is taking me to the next level of being me? A bit like being in a game, really. What's the next, I've won all these challenges, what do I have to do on the next level? It'll be different. So thinking about the coming energy, we are grappling with the loss of hope, with despair. That energy is flooding through our energy world at the moment. It's not only about the issues of the planet and how we look after the earth that we've been gifted. It's also about how we are treating each other as human beings and how we're treating the planet. So you may feel your chin drop a bit, you may feel despairing at times. I'm not very good at watching the news because it often makes me go, oh, and there's a despair creeps in about the ways we find to be horrible to each other, the ways we find to hurt and harm one another. We've got enough challenges without finding all these ways to hurt and maim and to impact in such dreadful ways on others, and there's no kind of no question being asked. I love the fact that we have got crystal vibration children in this world raising these questions and say, why are you doing that? Why do you do that to each other? Why do you divide each other? Why do you split inside? Never mind split outside. So in this run up to the new moon, we've got that questioning aspect that's been going on with this full moon, bringing things up to us on the surface to notice, why am I doing that? And to start asking you to look at life and remember you can get up every day and be a different person. It isn't fake or false, it's you finding you and asking the question, is this more me or less me? Is this how I like to be in the world, how I don't like to be in the world? We've got in this full moon, we've also got a lot of angelic energy coming in. They're having another go at blasting us with positive energy. We need a few angelic inspirations to help us with the problems that are being created in the world. And so you may find that you might see angelic numbers. I get 444 quite a lot, and 4s and 8s. You might hear songs, there's all sorts of ways. You might get little feathers. I'll tell you what I got today doing a reading for somebody. It was like butterflies flying past the window. Every minute there was another 1 or 2 butterflies, just nothing else all day but that reading. The butterflies were flowing through. Transformation. It's an exciting but challenging time because we're transforming. And I want you to think about this week ahead as the first steps in a deeper transformation. We've been doing a lot of spiritual work, absolutely, but now we've got to turn our focus to what needs to be put in place so that those wonderful crystals can help us. They are batteries of love. Everybody will have a child around them who just seems to radiate the purest love, who just is so full of appreciation. Those those are our batteries of love. Those are the energies that they're here to boost that love that we feel for ourselves. Because if we love ourselves, we can love others more. And if we heal the split inside, that fight that goes on between masculine and feminine inside, we can start to really function as we should as human beings. I love the term non-binary. Lots and lots of people are now very clear and very open about being non-binary. In other words, they're not being defined by he, she. They're being defined in themselves by who they are. And it's not just a question of gender, sexuality, biology. None of that. It's actually about someone saying, I am a me. I am a me. And I don't have to be a this or a this. I'm a me. I'm a whole being. And I like that idea. And I've asked the guides, Riff and I have often talked about the non-binariness of the human race, of understanding that we're going forward towards what the angelic realm has, which is there's no he or she. All angels are it. We just experience them in the gender that we need the energy flow. So if we need more masculine energy, we'll experience them as male. If we need more feminine energy, we'll experience them as female. So that the angels themselves are our inspiration, our role model, if you like, for what humanity can become. That is our inheritance if we choose to accept it. So as we start into the prep for the new moon, remember we are in a waning moon. The moon is shrinking. It's a brilliant time to let go, a brilliant time to say, yeah, that's not me anymore. I no longer have permed hair. In fact, I no longer have long hair. It's a brilliant time to say, oh, no, this dress doesn't suit me. It's a brilliant time to look at and question your attitudes and beliefs, and to think about, if I'm going forward and building something new, what about me needs to be new? What needs a good freshen up or a complete start afresh? There is a lot of energy coming in, particularly Monday and Tuesday, to help you with that process. Very good days for kind of seeing what you can send to charity, seeing what needs to be recycled. Very good days for also maybe sitting down and quietly asking your guides, right, I've got my pen and my paper, give me a little steer, a little nudge about where this is leading me. I need to mention, because actually I've got my loved ones here in spirit that tonight they've been making me slow down and rest, because they know I'm going to be busy. But just to recognise that your loved ones are around you, that they're not departed, they're not gone. Life is eternal, and if you can, just allow your loved ones to step closer and show you that they're present in your life. Of course, we miss them. But one of the blessings I have with my intuition being open is that I can experience my loved ones on a different level. They've taken their transformation and they've gone into a life where I will eventually join them. No doubt about that. I will eventually join them. What it means is that they can help me to steer myself in this life, and they can help encourage me when I get a dip of my chin, when I get into despair or fear or worry or anxiety. They can help me. It doesn't mean that they can wave a magic wand. Nobody can. But it does mean that I'm never, ever, ever walking this life on my own, which is something I wish my 20s me had known, because there were times when she did feel like she was walking it alone. Even though she was surrounded by family and relationships, she still felt like she was walking it alone. And at that time, she could have been supported. So I'm on a mission to encourage all of you, on behalf of my guides and your loved ones and your guides, I'm on a mission to encourage you to tune into your intuition. Everyone has it. Every single human being has psychic senses. We're just never shown how to use them and how to open to them. And we're taught to fear what is the most natural and loving thing in the world. Being surrounded by the people who know us best and love us the most, even after they've passed into the afterlife. So over the coming week, see if you can't give yourself a few moments of time to let your loved ones show you that they're still here, still walking alongside of you, and that the journey is not a lonely, hopeless one, that there's much in your life that's good and that can be even better. I hope that you can take some of that. Rafe has his fingers crossed that your own guides will help you and support you with their own individual messages. He knows he will, actually. He's laughing. But that we've got challenges, yes. We've got to ask questions and find solutions. But we've got so much help, love and support from the non-physical beings around us that if we all took a moment to tune into that intuition, we would be able to move more certainly through our lives. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also for anybody watching live. It's lovely to see your names pop up. Thank you for anybody who watches on catch up, and for all your lovely comments and messages. I really do appreciate it. I will be back next Thursday. I'm being told. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely week and enjoy being able to choose who you are every single morning. Bye.